Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're just going to do a quick summary of the new features that have been announced, upcoming features in Alpha 15. So this is on the Steam-powered page for Space Haven. You can click on the Alpha 15 progress report here. I just want to go over it with you guys real quick. So we're going to skip quickly to my favorite feature first, which is the beverage machine. So they're adding a bunch of cosmetic features in this update. If you zoom in, I don't know how you could. There you go. If you zoom in a little bit closer here, you could see that they have this new like soda machine. It's actually a beer machine. So crew members can get drinks and then they can go and sit around the table with drinks and have a good time. So it improves your leisure mood. They have potted plants that you can use to improve the ship spaces and make them a little bit nicer. They're adding a nightstand that you can put in bedrooms to make sleeping comfort a little bit higher. And they have these wall decorations, these paintings that you can put on your walls to make the rooms a little bit more comfortable as well. We also have some new roof element changes. The storage is now visible on the roof, and the hangers and pods are now visible on the roof. So those are some of the cosmetic changes. There's a lot of the theme of this update. This is the second anniversary update, which hasn't been released yet. It's coming up in what did they say? I think late May or early June, according to their plan. So this is going to be the second anniversary update for the game. So when this stuff comes out in late May or early June, we're going to get a bunch of cosmetic updates. We're going to get new ships, the giant 2x3 ships for each faction. So this is a Cult of New Haven 2x3. This is the Slavers Guild ship. This is a Military Alliance, and this is the Merchant Federation ship. So those are all being added in this update. We're also getting this notion of faction captains, and the captains can send you messages which will appear in the log, which I believe is the message thing in the top right corner. So you'll be able to have some communication from NPCs saying, hey, space is dangerous, without us it would be far worse, or whatever it is that the faction wants to say to you. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of things the different factions say and what they're doing. In addition, we have a bunch of stuff that has to do with the comfort and relationships of crew members, and we also have some new crew combat stuff. This is still in the works, and they've said that they may change this before the final version, but they're working on adding armor, body armor, and other sort of crew equipment. They're working on making it so that crew members can go and like pick up equipment from storage or refill it from storage, it sounds like. So maybe they're adding ammo. I'm not sure about that. They've also talked about adding augmentations to crew members, but they said the augmentations may not make it into this update. So we're talking like, cyberware or something like that. And now there's these different tabs that they have on the crew inventory screen. So there's this main inventory, and then this is the crew loadout where you can pick like what type of weapon they have and what type of armor they have. And then I think of this is going to be the augmentation tab, although they haven't shown us that yet. These are some new gear things, so it looks like they reskinned the different weapons, or maybe they have weapon upgrades. I'm not entirely sure. They didn't give us a lot of details here. And then they have two different types of armor, so it's going to be interesting to see those. And they've also changed a bunch of things related to crew behavior. So crew members will be slightly put out if there's no decorations. The biggest thing is that the way that crew comfort is calculated changes, so that they're going to be more an average of their total comfort over the course of a day. So leisure time is going to be really important, and it restores their overall comfort level, and that kind of persists more throughout the day as compared to how it is in the current version. So current version, they get in a really bad mood throughout the day as they're going through industry sections and hangars and so forth, and working in uncomfortable environments, and then their mood goes way up at the end of the day if they manage not to set anything on fire while they're eating dinner and going to bed and recuperating. So they've rebalanced the mood a little bit, they've said, so that it's going to be more reflective of the total experience throughout the day, what their mood is currently. So if your ship is mostly comfortable, even if you have some uncomfortable areas, if you have good leisure and good sleeping areas, then you're going to have a better overall mood and comfort over time. Some specific things, crew members now have specific things that they like to do or want to do based on their traits. So they might want to talk to each other or play games, listen to music, use the toilet, eat food, so on and so forth. They've streamlined the character stats. I'm I'm not entirely sure what this is talking about, the subcategories. We removed a few subcategories. The effects are still there and list as much as possible in the main overall mood category. This will allow the player to simply look at the list and immediately see how the well-being of the character can be improved. So I guess they had a lot of different subcategories of mood, and now they have it all in a higher level category. So I'm not sure if I totally understood that one. Um, the sleep environment, a new thing that's pretty significant, I think, is the fact that the crew members now want privacy. So you can't just jam all the beds in one room anymore. People will get a little bit of a debuff for that because their sleep gets interrupted, presumably by other crew members getting up and going to the bathroom or whatever during the night. So you want to have individual crew quarters, and you also want to have crew quarters where the beds are paired up because the crew members can now have long-term lovers that they might want to, share a room with, and they can now have also now have best friends that they'll be attached to and they'll want to hang out with and talk to, and they can have enemies who they'll get into fights with even when they're otherwise in a good mood. So and their chance of becoming friends or enemies and so forth depends on their overall comfort level, and it depends on their compatibility in terms of the traits that they have. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. They've also introduced a series of different stages of mental breaks. So before you could get a mental break if the crew had bad mood for a really long time and they would be like, I'm going to set the ship on fire, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to poison myself, whatever. There's now different levels so it doesn't escalate up to 11 right at the beginning. So crew member might refuse to work or get into a fight, and they also go on a binge of drinking or gaming if they're in a bad mood. The second level of escalation is they start to break stuff like setting facilities on fire or falling unconscious. And then the most severe thing is them wanting to destroy the whole ship or attempt suicide. So you obviously want to prevent that from happening to your crew members. Crew members get a bonus to effectiveness. If you keep them happy over a long time, they'll work a little bit faster, be less likely to surrender. That's pretty cool. Crew members will now talk about things that bother them, or things that they're happy about with other crew members. And if something's bothering them, the other crew member has a chance to comfort them and improve their mood. So that's kind of neat. And they've made their relationships more meaningful and generally. We just talked about that. Enemies, acquaintances, friends, best friends, lovers. And one of the new things about this is that there'll be one of these people that they'll be attached to that they have a relationship to. If that person dies, then they'll have a debuff for a long time. So, if you're in love with somebody and they get killed, boarding an alien derelict or whatever, obviously you're going to be upset about that for a really long time. So they've added that into the game. I think that covers most of it. Let me see if I missed anything here. Yeah, so those are the things that are coming in this update. And again, this update is still in development. It hasn't been released even on the experimental branch yet. So things could change. We'll see how it shapes up. But looking forward to the changes. Thanks for watching.